Morning, it's day 2. Just setting off from the campsite at the Bruce Arms at Milton, Liverpool, back towards Wootton Rivers, where I officially start the day's stage. Didn't sleep particularly well, never do first night in a tent. But anyway, I've had some macaroni cheese for breakfast because I'm aware that there is no facilities at all. Well, not unless I wait till about lunchtime for the pub in Wootton Rivers to open up, which is just ridiculous because I'd then have to, I'd never finish the day stage. So so there's no facilities at all. So I've got 2 litres of water with me and a flask of coffee, so hopefully that will suffice, and some sandwiches I made yesterday morning. It's going to be a long day today. Minimum of 20 miles, possibly even up to 25 miles, depending on which campsite I decide to try and go to. Got a few aches and pains. I had one hot spot on my foot, but it hasn't developed into anything yet. So just play it by ear. Crack on, stop waffling. So I'm back where I left the path yesterday. I'm now about to enter the village of Wootton Rivers, which, if I remember correctly, is quite a pretty little village. It's been very windy, very breezy, shall we say, all night, and is now probably 20 mile an hour winds gusting to 30, 35. I've managed to get the gimbal camera working for the moment because that's the only one that's got I've got my microphone wireless mic that cuts out the wind noise, but if it stops then I apologise if at times you can't really hear what I'm saying due to wind noise, because I think it's going to be breezy all day. It's overcast at the moment as well. This wind's blown in the clouds because it's a northeasterly wind. It's blown in the clouds. Did the same yesterday, but by about 11 o'clock the sun had burnt them off, so I hope it does the same again today. Since I've been to this pub, it used to be a really good pub. No idea if it still is. The Royal Oak at Wiltshire at Wootton Rivers. Some cows, and there's one of the hills we've got to be going up today in the distance. Meanwhile, because I've stopped. The cows are coming over to say hello. If one comes, they all come. Good morning. I'm afraid I haven't got any food. No. It's all nice to see you. Oh, absolutely. Hey. Oh dear. Yes. Well, thank you very much for coming over to say hello. But I can't stay here chatting all day. So I'm going to have to shoot off. Cheerio. Just climbed my first hill of the day. Not a particularly steep one, but a long gradual one. I don't suppose this camera really shows, but yeah, steady old climb. And we're now I'm going to walk along the edge of this field and pick up the ridgeline. That ahead is Martinsell Hill, and I think it's Giant's Grave or something like that. And that's officially where the path takes us. But then the path, as you can see, that hill just drops off, so you then have to go all the way down into the village of Orr and then all the way back up the other side. Now, I would imagine on a nice clear day it would be a lovely view from up there, but as you can probably see or may be able to make out, it's a bit murky this morning, so the views are not going to be anything like as spectacular. So I'll carry on walking up here, but at the moment I'm thinking I might miss that little bit out, because all that descent and climbing is going to be an awful lot of effort for little gain, really. Right, well, I've reached the summit of this particular hill. I can either go up that bit there which, as I say, is the official route, and the sort of Martin Cell Hill and the Giant's Grave. But I'll show you the view I can see looking down that way. Whilst it's not a rubbish view, it's just it's quite murky, you can't see as far as you would like. And so I think all the effort of having to go down and then all the way back up to this elevation isn't worth the effort. So I'm chickening out, and I'm if I can get through this gate, and I'm gonna take this route, which purists might say is cheating, and I suppose in theory it is. However, even the chap who came up with this trail admits sometimes he's had to route it in places where ideally he wouldn't go, but he couldn't get the permissions to create a trail on other footpaths, etc. So I'm going to treat the official route with a pinch of salt. I think the official route for this bit is actually one that he chose to do, and I can totally understand why, as I say, if it wasn't so murky. But yeah, I'm just chickening out basically. Today's going to be a long day, and no facilities, etc, etc, and so I just don't want to exert energy I don't have to. So if I'd stayed on the official route, I'd have climbed to the top of that hill over there, but then had to come all the way down into the valley, through to the village of Orr, and then climb back up that hill there. But I've just stayed pretty much on the same ridge line to avoid having to do all that extra effort, because as you can see, it's still not particularly clear. The sun is in places trying to break through, but yeah, it's going to be a while yet before the sun breaks through and gets rid of all that murkiness. Right, if you did follow the official route, this is where you would come out on top of the hill, and then carry on through here. So we're now back en route. I think I'm going to have a little sit down in this grass for 5 minutes, just rest my weary feet. Quite exposed up here, so it's blowing a right old hoolie, so I do hope you can hear me. I'll spin the camera around, but it's a real shame that it's so hazy today, because this is the Pewsey Vale we're looking down on, and normally speaking it would be a spectacular view, to look down on all this. But as I say, I very much doubt this camera will pick anything out, but it's very hazy. Sun is trying to poke its head out, but yeah, got a way to go yet. But hopefully, I mean, if the sun can burn off some of these clouds, the wind should blow away the haze. But yeah, it's just taking forever to do it. Anyway, continue on. Sun is finally starting to come out now, but the wind is really strong. I hope you can hear me. Got to wander down off this hill. There's some let's see if we can centre this camera a bit better. Yeah, some vehicles parked down there in the bottom. Where are we looking at? Is it there? I don't know. Anyway, sometimes there's an ice cream van there, but I can see 3 vans, but whether one of them is or not, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, then we've got to climb up that little hill there and then walk along the ridge in the distance. There's the Alton Barns White Horse up in front of us, and there's a little fence line next to it. So I'm going to sort of go and walk around there and hopefully stop for a spot of lunch and use that fence to hang my washing out to try dry. We're right on top of the downs here, which are chalk downlands. But as you can probably see, there's a group of stones, which I believe are going to be sarsen stones. Sandstone, which really have got no business being up here. I wish I knew a little bit more about geology as to how the hell they've got up here. Yeah, because there we are, right down there, deep valley. Yeah, so if anybody does understand geology and knows a little bit about the chalk downlands, leave a comment as to how the hell these things got here. We've now joined the Wands Dyke, which is an old middle-age path that ran through parts of Wiltshire, just an ancient sort of pathway along some of the downs. When But as you might be able to see up here, typical, there's the bank now, you can't see, but yeah, there's some very large fields, because this is pretty remote up here. No villages on this side of the hill for quite a while. So yeah, some of the fields up here are vast, all arable obviously. I'll see if we'll get a better shot in a minute. I'm now virtually on the summit of Tan Hill, which is Wiltshire's highest hill, 294 metres, just shy of 1,000 feet. And according to the map, there was a trig point, but either you can't get to it because it'd be in that field, but either there isn't one or the farmers ploughed it up and got rid of it, because I can't see one. But it should be about 100 metres in that direction. So yeah, so I sort of climbed this hill for no real reason now. But hey ho. Oh, turn me back, face the sun. Yeah, anyway, so that's as close as you can get to be the highest part of Wiltshire. Tired now. In fact, there's a lump of concrete behind me, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to have a little sit on that for 5 minutes. Legs are getting a bit weary. Right, here's another part where I'm going to deviate. The official route continues on up that way, up to Morgan's Hill and Roundway Hill. Not so much Morgan's, but Roundway, there is a particularly in a good, put your teeth back in, spectacular view. But because it's so hazy today, it's quite a long detour to go that way, so I'm instead going to go this way, because A, I'm knackered, B, where I want to camp tonight is the other side of Devizes, so it's probably another 7 miles away. So if I did that detour, that would add, that's another sort of 4, maybe 5 miles to do that. Yeah, I've been up those hills before, so it's not as if I've never done them. They are worth, well, certainly Roundway is worth going up, because you can get spectacular views up there. I mean, it's not as hazy as it was, but it's still not fantastic today. And then finally, the other reason, you know me, I happen to know there's a fantastic little pub, the Bridge Inn at Hornton, on the edge of the canal, if I go this way, so that's what I'm going to do. Right, I've had half hour rest. Put some Compeed on the blisters on my feet because I've got blisters on both feet now. I'm going to head off down, well, firstly to Devizes. I need to buy some more Compeed, but some sandwiches for tomorrow, etc. And then just show you the pub in the background. Then I'm going to go on to Sells Green, the campsite down at Sells Green, where I'm booked in now. But that's about just over 6.5 miles. So, you know, I've already done 16, so 6.5 on top of that. I'm going to know about it. But thankfully, as I say, it's apart from where I divert into Devizes, it's all towpath walking, so level, and hopefully this part of the towpath isn't nowhere near as overgrown as the bit I used yesterday. Big shout out to Jason in New Zealand, a mate of mine who we both used to live in the estate I'm just about to walk past, 20 odd plus years ago. But Jace, things have changed because there's a pub. Imagine what terrible things we'd have got up to if that had been there when we lived there. Yeah, you can't really see much of it, but yeah, the estate behind this pub, yes, I used to live in, and my mate Jason used to live in. I think I left in 2002, something like that. So it's changed quite a bit since, but yeah, brings back some good memories, that does. So good on you, Jace. Hope it all goes well in New Zealand. If I've got my bearings right, I think that was your house, Jason. I might be wrong, but I think that was yours. There's Devizes Crammer in rush hour. Devizes Crammer is allegedly behind Wiltshire people are called moonrakers. So if you've never heard the moonraker story, I'll explain it in a second.
In the late 1700s, smuggling was a significant industry in rural England. Allegedly, some local people had hidden some barrels of French brandy in the Crammer Pond in Devizes to stop the custom officers from finding them. One night, whilst trying to retrieve the barrels, they were apprehended by the customs men, who asked them what they thought they were doing. In the thickest of Wiltshire accents, they said that they were trying to rake in a round cheese from the pond, which was obviously a reflection of the moon. The customs men thought they were simpletons and laughed at them and went on their way, forever referring to Wiltshire men as moonrakers.
I just thought I'd do a detour to Devizes Market Square. Quite a pretty town centre. There's rough bits to Devizes, but there's some nice bits as well. So the official path doesn't come through the town, but it's obviously got an awful lot of facilities. So if you're ever doing the way and you need to stop off, then I would definitely recommend Devizes as a place to stay as such and get provisions, etc., etc. So this is the first of the Cane Hill flight of locks. There's 29 in total. It's quite a steep hill. The canal goes down or up. So yeah, I'll show you a picture in a bit of the looking back at all the locks. It's quite impressive. Each lock has to have a pond. Obviously needs a lot of water to move up and down, so if you don't have a pond, then you'll only be able to open them up once a day. So yeah, they have all these ponds to store some water, and they obviously have to pump it around at the same time. But obviously there's other people like using the canal, or other things like using the canal, as well as humans, I think. I don't know, are they geese? Canadian geese? I'm not sure. I thought they were, but perhaps they're not. No idea. So there you have it, all the locks. Well, not all the locks, because there's some behind me still, but yeah, quite an impressive sight. Really starting to struggle now. I think I've got about a mile to go, but it's hard work. Feet feel as if they're on fire. I know I've got blisters on both balls of the feet. So yeah, can't wait for the day to finish, to be honest with you. But it's lovely evening now. The wind's dropped. Lovely sunny evening. Just spin the camera around. Yeah, quite pleasant walking alongside the canal. If they didn't have a stupid heavy pack on, it would be quite a nice walk. There's the pumping house to pump all the water up the hill. It's looking glorious now in the evening sunshine. Sight for sore eyes. I turn off at this bridge. I'm just hoping there's going to be a path up on the other side. Otherwise it's going to be a scramble.